The word tariqah in Arabic means path, a way, a method, a journey. In the Islamic tradition, that refers not just to the outward practice of religion, but the inward journey of the soul toward God. The Nizari Ismaili Tariqah is one of the most ancient and spiritually profound paths within the Shia Muslim tradition. Rooted in over 1,400 years of history, the Nizari Ismaili Tariqah is unique in its continuity of Imamat, the living spiritual leadership of the Prophet's family, and in its commitment to balance faith with reason and spirituality with service. Today, this tariqah is followed by millions of Ismailis across the world. In Asia, Africa, Europe, and North America, each living their faith through devotion, knowledge, and ethics in everyday life. The Nizari Ismaili Tariqah finds its roots in the early centuries of Islam, beginning with Hazrat Ali ibn Abi Talib, the cousin and son-in-law of Prophet Muhammad, and the first Imam of the Shia tradition. The Imamat continued through generations, eventually giving rise to the Fatimid Caliphate, a powerful Islamic dynasty that ruled parts of North Africa, Egypt, and beyond, and contributed immensely to knowledge, science, and culture. It was during the time of Imam Nizar that the Ismailis became known as Nizari, following his rightful claim to the Imamat. From this point, the Nizari Imams led their followers through both times of peace and immense hardship, from the days of Alamut to the modern era under Imam Shah Sultan Muhammad Shah, Aga Khan III, and Shah Karim al-Hussaini, Aga Khan IV. The current Imam, Shah Rahim al-Hussaini, Aga Khan V, continues this living tradition today, guiding the Jamaat not only spiritually, but also intellectually, ethically, and socially. 3. Imamat, the heart of the tariqah. At the center of the Nizari Ismaili faith is Imamat, the institution of the living Imam, a direct descendant of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, through Hazrat Ali and Bibi Fatima. The Imam is not merely a symbolic figurehead, he is the bearer of divine knowledge, Noor, the spiritual interpreter of the Quran, and the guide to understanding the deeper, Batini meanings of Islam. Imam Shah Karim once said, "The Imam is the guide, not only in matters of faith, but in how faith shapes our response to the world." This belief in a living, present Imam distinguishes the Nizari Ismailis and emphasizes a dynamic, evolving understanding of Islam that speaks to each time and place. Through the Imam's guidance, murids, followers, are encouraged to live with ethical integrity, intellectual curiosity, and spiritual awareness. As the Quran states, "Obey Allah, obey the Messenger, and those in authority among you." Surah An-Nisa 4:59. In the Ismaili understanding, this verse includes obedience to the Imam of the time, as the rightful authority in both spiritual and temporal matters. The Nizari Ismaili Tariqah is deeply rooted in ta'wil, the esoteric interpretation of the Quran and religious symbols. It recognizes that Islam has two aspects: zahir, the outer, visible dimension, rituals, laws, and practices; batin, the inner, spiritual dimension, meaning, wisdom, and divine truth. This understanding is not new. It has its roots in the teachings of the Prophet himself and was expanded by Imams and Pirs over centuries. Pir Nasir Khusraw, one of the greatest Ismaili thinkers and missionaries, wrote, "Every form has a soul. Every shell hides a pearl." In this path, prayer is not only about words, but about presence. Fasting is not only about abstaining from food, but about taming the ego. Charity is not only about giving wealth, but about giving the self. This inner journey from zahir to batin is what defines the path of discovery. In South Asia, the Ismaili Tariqah flourished through the work of Pirs, especially Pir Sadgur Noor, Pir Shams, Pir Hassan Kabiruddin, and Pir Nasir Khusraw. These spiritual teachers composed ginans, devotional hymns in local languages that conveyed deep philosophical and spiritual meanings. In one ginan, Pir Shams says, "Moman bhullo na bhulaye, Imam sathe che." O believer, never forget, the Imam is always with you. The ginans teach us that God is not distant, He's near, He is within. They bridge intellect and emotion, reminding the Jamaat that devotion, ibadat, is not limited to ritual, but also includes dhikr, remembrance, sewa, service, and inner transformation, tazkiyah. One of the most profound aspects of the Nizari Ismaili Tariqah is its emphasis on ethical living and service to humanity. Imam Shah repeatedly taught that our faith is not separate from the world. It must be expressed through justice, compassion, and responsible citizenship. Quoting the hadith, "The best of people are those who are most beneficial to others." The Aga Khan Development Network, AKDN, which is one of the largest private development agencies in the world, is a direct expression of this principle. It builds hospitals, schools, universities, environmental programs, and cultural projects, all inspired by Islamic ethics and the Imam's guidance. Faith in the Ismaili view is not just vertical, between self and God, but also horizontal, between self and creation. The Ismaili Tariqah places strong emphasis on the use of Aql, reason, and intellect. For centuries, Ismaili thinkers contributed to philosophy, science, medicine, and the arts during the Fatimid era and beyond. Imam Shah Rahim, like his predecessors, encourages murids to seek knowledge, both religious and worldly, as a sacred responsibility. In his words, "Knowledge without ethics is dangerous." This echoes Imam Ali's teaching, "Knowledge enlivens the soul." Another defining trait of the Nizari Ismaili Tariqah is its embrace of pluralism and diversity. The Jamaat includes people of all ethnicities, cultures, and languages, from East Africa to Central Asia, from Canada to India. This is not just a demographic reality, it is a theological one. The Quran says, "We have made you into nations and tribes so that you may know one another." Surah Al-Hujarat 49:13. Imam Shah once described pluralism as a gift, not a burden, and Imam Shah Rahim continues this vision by encouraging the Jamaat to build bridges, not walls. In the Tariqah, unity is not about sameness. It is about shared values, spiritual allegiance, and love for the Imam of the time. For a Nizari Ismaili murid, the path is not abstract. It is lived every day. In the Jamat Khana, the murid engages in bandagi, prayer, dhikr, remembrance, and tasbih, meditation. In the home, ethics, respect, and generosity are practiced. In the community, murids volunteer in sewa, serving others with humility. Daily practice includes both personal prayer and collective responsibility, The Imam's guidance is shared through Farmans, his spoken or written messages, which serve as a spiritual compass. One Ginan says, "Jine satkur miliyat tenu kam thayure, tene ape aap samjhaya." One who meets the true guide, their purpose is fulfilled, for the guide reveals the truth within. The Nizari Ismaili Tariqah is more than a branch of Islam. It is a living tradition, a journey of the heart and mind guided by the Imam of the time. It is a path of discovery, of the self, of the divine, of the unity between the zahir and the batin, between intellect and love, between faith and action. As we walk this path, we remember the words of Imam Shah Rahim. The light of the soul is not in knowing everything. It is in remembering what truly matters: God, love, and purpose. May this tariqah continue to be a source of guidance, peace, and discovery for generations to come. If this journey through the Ismaili Tariqah inspired you or sparked a new thought, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to stay connected, and drop your thoughts or questions in the comments. This platform grows with your voice, your curiosity, and your engagement. Let's discover more together.